Hello crochet artists! Today I'm going to teach you how to make this lovely summer crochet top using just the basic stitches that you probably already know. For this, we'll need a DK or a lightweight yarn. I'm using this yarn called polycotton, which is a 60% cotton and 40% polyester. And for this, we're going to use a double pull, or we will be working with 2 strands. Now, this video is not sponsored, but you can find the link in the description as to where I purchased this yarn. We also need a 4mm crochet hook, a yarn needle, and a pair of scissors. Now, if you're new to this channel, hello there. My name is Kath and I make crochet tutorials. You can follow me on Instagram as well as my Facebook page at What About Yarn. And if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe. Begin with a slip knot. And we're going to make up a chain in multiples of 5. Now this chain will go around the chest minus 3 inches. That means when you have your chain, you're going to subtract 3 inches from that number. Now once you have your chain, we're going to add an extra 4 chains to this to build up the row. Next, we're going to work a double crochet in the 5th chain from the hook. Now to make a double crochet, you're going to yarn over, insert the hook in the 5th chain. Now grab the yarn and pull up a loop. We now have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops on the hook, and that is a double crochet. Now chain 1 and make another double crochet in that same chain. Now these 3 stitches is called a V-stitch. Next, we're going to skip 2 chains and make a V-stitch in the next chain. So double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet in the next chain. Now this will be the pattern that you will repeat for the remainder of the chains. So skip 2 and V-stitch in the next. At the end of the row, we're going to work a double crochet in the last stitch. So we have here our remaining 3 chains. And we're going to skip 2 chains and make a double crochet at the very last chain. Next, moving on to row number 2, we're going to chain 3. Now chain 3 here will count as 1 stitch or 1 double crochet and turn your work. Now for row 2, we're going to place our V-stitch into each of those chain 1 spaces from the previous row. Coming down to the end of the row, we're going to work our last stitch, which is a double crochet at the 3rd chain of the turning chain 3. Now repeat row number 2 until the length of your panel will reach from the waistline and upwards towards the armpit. For my size, that will be a total of 22 rows. So here I have my finished panel, and from here we're going to start working on the sides and the edges. So do not cut the yarn. We're going to continue with a chain of 1. Now chain 1 here does not count as a stitch. Now on the first row and on each row, we're going to work 2 single crochet. And to do that, we're going to insert the hook in the stitch. Grab the yarn and pull up a loop. We now have 2 loops on the hook, and yarn over and pull through all of those loops, and that is a single crochet, and make another single crochet stitch in that very same row. Now make 2 single crochet into each row across. At the end of the row here, We're going to continue on the edges. Starting with this row, we're going to add another 2 single crochet in that very same row. So that means we have 4 single crochet in the edge or the corner of the panel. Next, single crochet in each of the V-stitch and 2 single crochet in each of the spaces. Repeat this all the way across. Coming down to the opposite corner and working over our tail or the end of the yarn, we're going to work another 2 single crochet in that very same corner. That means we have 4 single crochet in this corner. And continue on the opposite side with 2 single crochet in each row. Now coming down to the other corner, work 2 single crochet, and now we are working over our V-stitches. So work a single crochet in the first double crochet of the V-stitch, and we're going to skip the chain 1 space here and work another single crochet in the second double crochet of the V-stitch. So in each of the V-stitch, we're going to work a single crochet, but we're not going to include the chain 1 space at the middle. So continue with this all the way at the end of the other corner, and once you reach the other corner, we're going to work 2 single crochet and close this round with a slip stitch on the very first single crochet that we did for the border of our top. Now fasten off and cut the yarn. Now we're going to make our I-cord for the back side. To make the I-cord, we're going to take our yarn and fold that in half. As you can see here, I'm still working with 2 strands of yarn. Once you have the amount that you need, we're going to make a slip knot and place our hook in there. Now we have here our upper strand and the lower strand. What we're going to do is wrap the lower strand into the hook and hold that in place. And we're going to yarn over and pull through the loops on our hook, and that will create the base for our I-cord. Now let's repeat that again. Wrap the lower strand into the hook and yarn over and pull through. So you're going to keep on working this until you have the length that you need for the I-cord for the back side of the top. Now to make the sleeves, we're going to attach the yarn into any of the stitch in the upper right corner of the top. And once your yarn is attached, we're going to work up a chain in multiples of 5. Now this chain will go all the way to the shoulders and towards the back. And for my size, I'm going to make a total of 50 chains. Now without twisting the chain, we're going to attach it into the back side of the top with a slip stitch. Now turn your work. From here, we will be working along the armhole. So starting with the first stitch here, we're going to single crochet. Now single crochet into each stitch. You will also single crochet into the chains And at the very end of the round, we're going to slip stitch into the first single crochet of this round, and do not turn your work. Next, round number 2 for the sleeves, chain 3. Now chain 3 here will count as 1 double crochet or 1 stitch, and make 1 double crochet into each of the stitch in the armhole. Next, we're going to skip 2 single crochet in the sleeve, and then on the third stitch, we're going to work a double crochet, and make another double crochet in that same stitch. Now chain 1, then make another 2 double crochet in that very same stitch. So 2 double crochet, chain 1 and 2 double crochet, and all these 5 stitches will create a stitch called iris. Now skip 4 chains or 4 stitches and make an iris stitch in the next stitch. So again, to make the iris stitch, double crochet, double crochet again, chain 1 and 2 double crochet. Okay, so this will be the pattern that you will repeat throughout the sleeve. So skip 4 stitches and then iris stitch on the next. And at the very end of the round, we're going to skip the remaining 2 stitches and then slip stitch in the third chain of the beginning chain 3. And that ends our round number 2. Now moving on to round number 3, we're going to chain 3. And chain 3 here will count again as 1 stitch or 1 double crochet, and make 1 double crochet into each of the double crochet stitch. Next, make an iris stitch into each of the chain 1 spaces from the previous round. At the end of the round, we're going to slip stitch in the third chain of the beginning chain 3, and you're going to repeat round number 3 until the length of your sleeve will go just below the shoulders. So for my size, that will be a total of 9 rounds of iris stitch plus 1 round of single crochet, so that makes it 10 rounds. Next, we're going to make the second sleeve, but only this time we're going to attach the yarn into the back side of our top instead of the front. So as you can see here, I have my yarn attached on this side. So that means for the second sleeve, we're going to flip our work and attach our yarn into this part of the top. Now, to be able to determine which stitch we're going to place our yarn, we're going to count our stitches from the other side. So we will make that as a basis for which part or for which stitch we're going to place our yarn. So I'm counting my stitches here. Now once the yarn is attached, we're going to work up a chain that is the same as the number of chains that we did from the other sleeve. Once you have your chain, again, we're going to attach it into the front side of our work. And to do that, we're going to count our stitches here in the armhole and use those numbers as a basis for the armhole of the second sleeve. So again, I'm counting my stitches here. And on the next stitch, that is where I'm going to place my chain. Now turn your work and continue making the sleeve in the same way as you did for the previous sleeve. At the very end, you're going to fasten off and weave in all of the ends, and that's basically it. Friends, that marks the end of this tutorial. If you have any questions, please feel free to write them down in the comment box below and I will do my best to answer them. Thank you so much guys for watching, and as always, have a good day. I'll see you on the next video.